What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Raider Report, the sports talk show by the students, for the students, and with the students. Of course, as always, I'm Spencer Gryzwacz, and I'm joined today by our lovely moderator, Bailey Hebert. And also along with this ride with us is GP Osa. We've got a hot show and a hot crowd for you this afternoon, so thank you for tuning in because this is Raider Report. Yeah!
Hey everyone, welcome back. So our last show, we ended the show talking about the NBA playoffs and everything like that. So a lot of things have happened since then. So let's talk about some of those. Like, for one, the Mavs, they're out, they're gone, they're by history. And I'm so sad about that, but OKC did their thing.
It ended quick, it's like it wasn't a slow, painful death. They didn't drag it out any longer than it had to be.
God.
It was over, and thank goodness.
Let's that first win, I was like, you can do it.
Hey, they were dealing with three major injuries: Darren Williams, and then Dirk, and then Chandler Parsons.
Yeah.
So you can't blame them. The fact they're able to stay that long in it is a miracle in itself. But hey, let's just get one thing straight: Russell Westbrook needs to learn his manners.
He does. He was a little.
Mark Cuban seemed to call him out on that, a little bit. So didn't call him said he wasn't a superstar in the league, which I think internally made Russell Westbrook even more angry there for, essentially ending the Mavericks season.
Yeah,
but
I couldn't understand
we'll
why
be back.
they were getting so many technicals and so mad.
I loved it. I thought it was an entertaining series, even though it was so lopsided because there was so much back and forth. Man, I don't know if you saw that elbow that Justin Harrison threw in the last game.
Hey, we're going to talk about some of those. We are.
We are.
But, speaking of injuries, like you were saying, Steph Curry. Hello. We're not worried. They still got it. Rockets, who are they? I don't know. But they do have games coming up after they, are done with the Rockets and everything like that. Steph, he was out. He's going to be out for 2 weeks as of now because he just got MRIs. He still has to get more checkups. So, what do y'all think about Golden State going?
I think if James Harden can turn it on, and the beard is as fearful as they say it is.
You're not going down this path, are you?
I am. I'm about to say it. They can steal it. Clutch CDs for a reason. They can steal it from them.
They're not going to steal it from them. They're down 3-1, first of all, okay? Second, I tweeted this. You can find my handle. Follow me on Twitter. You can find my handle in the comment section. But I tweeted this a while right when Steph Curry first hurt his ankle. And I said, don't play in the rest of the series. You don't need him in the rest of the series. Right. You can win this series without having Steph Curry. Houston they're not a team. They're a bunch of good basketball players, individuals, okay?
Nope.
And I didn't think that they needed Steph Curry anyways.
They need him.
Plus, whenever you hurt, for whatever reason, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I'm not even going into the medical field, right? But whenever you when you injure one body part, for whatever reason, another body part becomes more susceptible to injury. And I understand it's a freak accident, he slipped, but you know what? We don't know he wasn't favoring that ankle whenever he slipped, So for whatever, they didn't need to play him, and they played him, and it's going to hurt them now for a few weeks. I think they can make it to the next series okay, and then they'll have him back, but it's going to be a little bit more challenging. It's not going to be as easy of a playoff run.
They just better not underestimate Clutch City. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever. Trust me, we have a lot more NBA playoffs to talk about later in the show. We will get to that. But for now, let's talk about Conor McGregor. He's no new person on this show. We've talked about him many of times, but it's obviously because of his ridiculous sayings and antics and parties and all of the above that he always has.
True.
So
sounds like a college student.
Yeah, exactly. He may as well be, might as well just come on. But anyways, his most recent saying crazy stuff is him saying that he's going to think about retiring from UFC Fight Night. But then he goes back and says, just kidding. So what? He always is saying these crazy things. He sounds like a rapper to me. So we have a new game. It's called the Quotes Edition, okay?
Game show.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do, you guys, okay? I have some quotes right here, some from rappers, some from Conor McGregor. I'm going to read them out. Okay. Y'all are going to guess Who is it? Like, who is it?
Do we win a
okay?
prize? Like if we get the most right?
You get bragging rights.
And we don't have to name the rapper. Do we have to name a specific?
We get bonus
you
points if we name
first-
the rapper.
How about this? You're gonna name if it was Conor McGregor or a rapper, and then if you think you got it, then you can try to name the rapper, and
right.
kudos to you if you can do it.
Game
Okay,
show.
y'all ready?
I got this.
All right.
I was born for this.
All right, first up. Just know I was once considered just a dreamer. Then I paid my dues and turned so many doubters to believers. Y'all think it was Conor McGregor or a rapper?
It's a rapper, DJ Khaled.
Oh, okay, hold on.
I don't know, man. That is poetic. I don't think of Conor McGregor as a very poetic individual.
poetic.
I'm gonna go rapper as well.
Do you have a specific one?
I'm not gonna embarrass
Not gonna
myself
try.
like that.
Y'all were right. It was a rapper, but it was Big Kurt. Not
Big
DJ
Crit?
Oh, Big Crit. Sorry.
Big Crit?
Yeah, Big Crit.
I didn't
yeah.
see that. I didn't see
So
that.
hey, but y'all got rappers, so
Y'all
good
can tell me
job.
later who
He's
that
my
is.
favorite rapper. I didn't see that.
GP got that. I don't listen to him. Okay, here's the next one. You have to know when to be arrogant. You have to know when to be humble. You have to know when to be hard. And you have to know when to be soft.
Dang. If I didn't know any better, someone was describing like a cake or something.
What?
I would have to go with McGregor because I'm trying to picture it in like an Irish accent, so it sounds just about okay. Like, you don't have to know to be. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know many soft. I don't know many soft UFC fighters. I'm going rapper.
Rapper?
Going rapper.
Okay. Spencer, it's a rapper. It's Talib Kweli.
Really?
Never heard of him. Sorry.
You're getting all these poetic rappers.
That's
You're throwing
right.
me off. You're throwing me
Sorry,
off.
they're a little poetic. So you've got two.
Expert on all things sports and a few things that are
Pop culture.
Rapper.
rapper.
Okay, let's see for this
Slightly.
next one if you still got it. Okay, these custom-made suits aren't cheap. This solid gold pocket watch, 3 people died making this watch.
That has to be Conor McGregor.
I'm going Conor
That
McGregor
has
too.
to be.
Y'all are right. Y'all are straight. It's just crazy stuff, outlandish stuff. that
What
he's just
rapper
saying.
wears a
What?
pocket watch? That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey,
It's
a
timeless.
That would
suave
give it
rapper.
away.
It's timeless.
A
Like,
suave rapper.
Get it?
Who's the guy that
That's
wears the
terrible.
clock? What's his name?
I tried. I really did. Okay, let's go. If one of us goes to war, we all go to war.
I don't know many
Sounds like a-
rappers that go to war.
Rap battles, rap beef.
It's a rapper.
Touche.
Boom.
It's a rapper. I'm gonna say. I'm shooting the dark haired Drake.
It's a little emotional for Drake.
It's just up his alley of emotions.
No, I'm going with my gut. I'm going with Conor again. Conor McGregor.
Your gut is correct. Unfortunately, because Spencer's like always getting stuff right. It's crazy.
Wow.
But
Wait.
it was Conor McGregor.
Pause. Time out. Pause. Can you say that again?
Don't do it. Don't give him.
I
Don't give
refuse.
him the light of day. Don't do
this
it.
is a good one, you guys. Y'all ready? Okay. You have to watch your lawyer. As soon as I get into the game, I got a lawyer to watch my lawyer. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You gotta go.
That's kind of like a never-ending thing.
I should know this considering
lawyer.
my like fourth
kinda
backup
weird,
plan on my list of careers is to be a lawyer.
Conor McGregor or
Oh
a
wow.
rapper?
Oh wow.
I'm gonna go rapper. I'm
I'm
gonna go rapper.
gonna say Conor McGregor.
Do you have a specific rapper? that you-
Ooh. No, I don't.
Dang it, GP, just go with Spencer.
He got it. Okay.
It's Notorious B.I.G., man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You were?
Yeah, that
You had
was
it?
in my head. Yeah,
You
yeah.
had that one. Okay. Oh, let's see. Come on,
I'm
GP.
losing.
Get this.
All right, come back.
You know he can't save you, right? In the real world, that guy right there, he can't save you.
Dang.
Fighting words.
Rapper.
Conor McGregor. What? Are you serious?
It was Little
Oh
Wayne.
my gosh. Oh my.
Gosh.
I really.
You're letting Spencer just.
Okay. I'll come back.
Annihilate you
All right.
right
I'm going
now.
undefeated.
Killing it, man.
I'm going on a
Okay.
streak right here. All right, watch.
You
My
got
lyrics.
You got this next one. Watch. I've always felt like there was a lot of hype around me, even when there wasn't. I felt like everyone was talking about me, even when no one was talking about me. That's so arrogant. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll with this rapper thing, so I'm staying with the rapper.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay Conor McGregor.
You got a specific rapper?
Ooh, no.
Don't worry about it, because it was Conor McGregor. Gotcha.
What if Conor
Heating up,
McGregor
heating up.
starts like rapping?
He should.
Then
'cause that's
his
all
lip-
he likes to
That'd
do.
be terrible.
Talk. He's
I
just
would-
Got close
talking.
enough lyrics, that's for sure.
Okay, last one. Let's
right.
see who wins, okay?
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
I will hit a man with glasses.
That's just me. That's a bully.
That's cool.
Oh,
Did you
man.
also say I'm gonna put him in a locker as well? Like, dang.
Nope, just I will hit a man with glasses.
All right. Conor McGregor.
He's a rapper.
Who?
Who doesn't
Think of
wear?
a
Clearly it
violent
matters,
person.
so I already
DMX?
lost.
No, it was Eminem. It was
was
Eminem.
Eminem.
But GP,
Okay.
you got that one. You finished with a bang.
Thank
Your
you.
last
Did we ever get
two.
the final tally on that? It doesn't matter.
I don't
I got
remember.
I was on like a 5 winning streak
Whatever.
in there. So
Whatever.
I came back.
It's
That's all that
okay.
matters.
It's okay, because GP came back swinging, just like baseball. It's still here. It's swinging. Speaking of baseball, let's talk
Nice.
about this. Over the
nice
past couple...
transition. Nice.
Whatever. Thank you. Over the last couple days, we gave you some statistics to think about, some players to think about, and we want to make a fantasy baseball team. Sorry, guys. And we gave you American League, correct?
Yeah.
And you had the National League.
Yes,
and
I
so I hope that y'all have been thinking. Y'all been locked in your rooms for a couple days.
First off, I know GP was struggling with this all week, right?
It's okay. GP, I heard you had a little help though.
With the help of my team, and we're able to come to a conclusion. I'm happy to share the results with you guys.
You got
So-
okay.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I actually got some outside help a little bit as
Outside
well.
help. Okay. I have a couple gurus or something.
How am I the cheater?
Because GP needed the help.
I just want to clear it up.
Anyway.
It's not that I don't like baseball. It's just so long to watch. It's like an a-day event. I just gotta clear it.
Who you got?
Okay.
Who you got?
So
Who you got?
All right, so I got Bryce for the outfield and center field. I got Bryce Harper. I got Andrew McCutchen and Giancarlo Stanton. And then who else?
Solid outfield.
Solid outfield. All right. And for let's see, for the catcher I got Buster Posey. For third baseman I got Chris Bryant. And then let's see, for second baseman I got D. Gordon, and first baseman I got, let's see, what's his name? Paul Goldschmidt. Yeah. And then finally the pitcher Jake Arrieta. And that is my team.
What would you name your team?
I name them the Flaming GPs. Because anywhere anywhere I go, there's gonna be fire.
Or fire on them, like Kevin Hart. All right. All right, Spencer, let's hear yours.
All right, so I'm going to start with the infield, actually. I'm going to go first base. We're sitting with Miguel Cabrera. Second, Robinson Cano. Shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki. Third base, Adrian Beltre. I'll get to him in a second. Right field, Jose Bautista. Center field, Mike Trout. Left field, Jacoby Ellsbury. And at my catcher, Salvador Perez. And my pitcher is Chris Sale. I also had a few honorable mentions here because I found it kind of hard.
Leave it up to Spencer.
For third
Extra.
base, I found it hard because Adrian Beltre might not be the best statistical third baseman in the league right now, but I like his veteran presence and the leadership he would bring to my team. But my honorable mentions were Manny Machado and Josh Donaldson, also played third base. Okay. So that's where I stand. Now, I thought the American League was more talented than National League. I've thought that going into this entire thing. I didn't look up any National League resources. However, after listening to the team you put together and looking at the team I put together, I'm actually going to recant on that and actually say I think National League is stacked.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So, thank you.
So congrats to your ghostwriters that wrote that
What
up.
would you name your team?
Ooh,
The Ghost
The
Riders.
Flaming GP? The Flaming
Nah.
Dancers?
Domination Incorporation.
That's terrible.
Leave it to Spencer. Both of y'all have terrible names, whatever. Let's hope that y'all have better things, more, intelligent things to say about this big debate we have coming up. So stick around and we have a lot of interesting topics to talk about. Hi guys, we're back. And just like I said, we're about to start off the big debate. Let's start off with the NBA playoffs and talking about NBA and this humongous gap that we have between the West and the East. First of all, the Warriors, they just broke a single season win record. The Spurs have like one of the best seasons going of the decade. And the LA Clippers, all of the above, they're all at the top of like the rankings and the powerhouse in the NBA and everything like that. Those are all from the West, you know what I'm saying? So then we have like Cavaliers, they come up, but they're not my favorite, but whatever.
All right.
Anyways, so basically for our first debate topic, my question is, will the West be determining, like, basically the championship? Like, whoever wins the West, will they determine who wins, like, the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'll start this one off. Yeah, whoever comes out of the West is going to win the finals this year. But before I completely bash the East, I will say the East actually top to bottom was probably a little bit more solid than the West was this year, from 1 to 8. However, the top 3 seeds, and I'll even go top 4, but I'll say the top 3 seeds in the West are so dominant, it doesn't matter what the East puts out, they're going to get beat by any one of the top 3 seeds. So, and I don't know that it is a lock that Cleveland is going to make it to the finals. Man, I tell you what, that Toronto Pacers series really interests me about when whoever comes out of that series, and especially Toronto. If Toronto does make it out of that series, I would put Cleveland on upset alert. So, you know, even the Warriors without Steph Curry doesn't hurt the West in any way, because you still have the Spurs, who put up the best record of the past decade if it wasn't for the Warriors, and you still have the Thunder, who are the most athletic team in the entire NBA. So just as usual, the West is still the more dominant conference, even though it is top heavy. But I do think the East has made up some ground. You know, I think they had all above 500 teams that made the playoffs this year, which has not been the case for the past few years. So, but yeah, that's where I stand on the West.
All right, so Spencer's going with a yes, a big whopping yes. GP?
Again, I have to say, nope. Everyone, I don't know why everyone's hating on the East recently. Let's not forget, yes, I'm not bashing on the Warriors. The Warriors are very cold, ice, water cold. But if we looked at the championship series from last year, they beat a Kyrie injured, Kevin Love-less Cavalier team, and they held it down. And those were one of the main guys on the team. So if we look at that, we can't really say that, you know, because the Cavs are not really that good and all that, whatever. But basically what I'm getting at is saying that give the East some credit. They have the Cavs in Toronto. They're going to be a force in a couple years. And also what we said about the Clippers are not even a factor anymore. So I'd actually take the Cavs and bump them up to 3, because recently, if we're going off of updates, Blake Griffin just got injured and he's out, and Chris Paul just got injured and he's out. And so I doubt DeAndre Jordan's going to have is going to be able to hold it down for the Clippers, because he's a big baby.
This is shocking. I had to ring the bell for GP and not Spencer.
Yeah.
Clear, concise, and to the point. It's not hard to argue for the West when you have, you know, the numbers they put up this year. You look at the 2 best records this season.
It's only going to be, I'm just going to say it right now, Cavs are going to go all the way, but it's going to be between the Warriors and the...
Listen, okay, so you know what? I'll give you this. I'll give you Cleveland is a very good team. Very good basketball team.
All right,
However, there has been some issues within that locker room lately. Does Kyrie really want to be in Cleveland?
He does.
Does LeBron really want to be in Cleveland?
You're going off of the allegations that he unfollowed his team, which is such a big deal.
You know what? It's not a big deal that he unfollowed the team for the purpose a lot of people think of it is, which is the fact, oh, he unfollowed the team, that means he's going to leave the team. No, it's a big deal from an egotistical standpoint. When you've already got another ego and Kyrie Irving on the team, why LeBron unfollowed that team was not necessarily to prove that he's going to possibly leave, but it was more of, I'm not getting enough attention. Look at me, I unfollowed the Cleveland Cavaliers on Twitter.
That man gets plenty of attention. He's the best player in the league.
Is he though? Anymore?
He is.
I tell you what, Steph Curry's going to win back-to-back MVPs this season, and I'm just saying that I don't feel like that sits well with LeBron James, who was supposed to be the best player.
Steph Curry's cold. Don't get me wrong, but LeBron James is an all-around player. He can go up into the.
I gotta stop you because you're about to start talking nonsense, and it's gonna make me mad. So I just gotta stop that.
All right.
Thank you guys for that first round.
All
Okay. Our next topic in the debate is Kevin Durant. Recently, he got a little bit overly aggressive on the court against the Mavs. He got a flagrant 2 foul, and he got ejected from the game. I saw the game. I saw the replays, everything like that. I felt like he doesn't seem like a bad guy, and it did seem like an accident. But I'm gonna let y'all debate on that. Basically, my question is, do you think he's a dirty player now, or do you think that he just got a little aggressive, and do you think that his ejection was necessary or not? I'll start with you, GP.
I think that Russell Westbrook rubbed off on him a little bit, but on a little low key. But to be honest, I think it was just kind of blown out of proportion. People just wanted to like, oh no, Kevin Durant is, because if he was a dirty player, it wouldn't be much news because we already know who the dirty players are in the league, and it's on a consistent basis. Kevin Durant, this is like once in a while, like you've seen. It was by accident. He actually went over to the guy, apologized, and was like, hey, I didn't mean to do this, whatever, blah blah blah. So I think it was just blown out of proportion. It was just for media. But I will say, I mean, he's gotten more physical, but I wouldn't call it, aggressive in a bad way. And then also, I mean, it was unnecessary. But I'll say this, I do understand why the refs called it, because if you look at the replay and how it came down, it did look like it was intentional. But if you replay it and look at the whole thing, you can tell. And plus, it's Kevin Durant. That guy he's like one of those really nice kids that doesn't really do anything. He's in back of the class, does his work, gets the grades.
I agree.
You know, the whole 9 yards. But that's me.
All right. Spencer?
So I think people are still too caught up on the speech that Kevin Durant, and it was a great speech, great MVP speech when he talked about his mom, and all that. Perfect speech. Couldn't have given a better MVP speech. But I think people are still caught up on that Kevin Durant. When this is a different Kevin Durant, he's been through a lot more stuff than that Kevin Durant had been through. He was out for almost an entire season with that foot injury. He's not necessarily the clear-cut best player on that team anymore like he was back when he was the MVP. He's got some more competition now. They haven't won a finals yet. The pressure's building on him for that. And I think it's getting to him a little bit. You see it on the court. He gets frustrated easier. He had the worst game he's possibly ever had when the Mavericks upset them in Game 2. And you know what? Justin Anderson, who he hit in the face when he was going up for the layup, was actually part of the reason that was getting into Kevin Durant's head. So, and I know that he came down, he was immediately all apologetic, he did the whole my bad thing to the Mavericks bench and came out in his press conference and was immediately regretful. But I think part of that is he likes his image as a good basketball player. And two, he doesn't like his image of, my official thought is he didn't want to get fined. And if you don't want to get fined, you're going to immediately say what the NBA wants to hear. So.
Right. All right.
I just think I will agree with him in the fact that, yes, he's changed from when he got the MVP speech a couple of years ago, but it's nothing drastic. He's not like turning into Jekyll and he's Hyde or anything like that. I mean, he's just getting a tougher skin. He's just getting a tougher skin. He's in the league. You got to change from NCAA from when he played at Texas to now. Of course, he has to be more aggressive and more assertive to assert his dominance in the league. I mean, that's what you got to do.
But it's a different kind of pressure. It's the kind of pressure that's building slowly, where it just keeps weighing down you until eventually you break and you crack. And I hope that doesn't come. I hope he finds a way to, break through. Maybe this is the playoffs. He breaks through and they somehow go on to win the finals. But
I don't think it's him. I think it's more
the pressure's building.
I think it's more of the fan base and then the staff are thinking, because, the rumors, I believe this might be his 1 or 2 years left in OKC. I think he may go somewhere else.
Well, you look 3 years ago before his, or it might be 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago before he hurt his foot and he was the MVP. People were saying he's the next LeBron, second best player in the league. He's a great scorer, best scorer in the league. And you don't hear that conversation anymore. You don't hear about him being just under LeBron James, the best player in the league. Part of that's because you don't hear about LeBron.
Because we had a guy named Steph Curry kind of emerge in his own.
Exactly, but that builds the pressure. That builds pressure on him.
That was a great argument, you guys. I like both of y'all's standpoints. I couldn't
Thank you.
decide. I think he's a good guy, though. But anyways, moving right along. Tom Brady, how much time has he spent on our TVs? Do you think that the U.S. Appeals Court was correct in reinstating Tom Brady's 4-game suspension? And is this the final verdict? Spencer, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so so first off, you're right, it's been in on our TVs and in the news for a little bit more than a year now, but it's not going to end this year and it's not going to end probably next year. It'll go on for a little bit longer. And part of it's not just a debate on if Tom Brady should be suspended because he allegedly inflated or deflated the footballs. I think it's more of an issue of now it's become an NFL versus the government, kind of the courts type private life versus the courts and public hearing and all that type of argument. And I've been on Tom Brady's side pretty much the entire time since day one. I said, there wasn't enough evidence. Roger Goodell's overstepping his bounds. He came down really harsh on something he didn't know much about. And then what happened was the courts went and overturned the suspension. And I didn't necessarily agree with the courts coming into a private industry like the NFL, organization like that, and then overturning a decision and basically undermining everything the NFL had said. And I agree with that here too. I stick with the statement. I don't think the court should have necessarily gotten involved again for the second time on this issue. So.
All right. Oh, Spencer.
Wow.
To the point.
Again, I have to agree with Spencer in the sense of I don't believe that the U.S. court system should have gotten involved in this private thing. At the end of the day, it's just football. I think everyone's still just mad and hurt and salty about the fact that, Tom Brady's not the nicest guy, or he's not the honest John like we all thought he was. At the end of the day, all football players, they're all trying to get an edge on everyone else. Because in the NFL, everyone's really good at what they do. So, yes, I fully believe Tom Brady did it. He just has some nice lawyers, has a lot of money, and got away with it. But, the fact that you're still trying to get him for it is just, there's really no point. You can try and get the suspensions and yada yada, but it's just not gonna really accomplish anything. Because, he got away with it once. If your whole goal was to make sure this doesn't happen again, you kind of failed with it because you obviously see that he gets away with it. Mm-hmm. So that's just me. I don't think it's a big deal anymore. I just think they're just kind of beating a dead bush already. So.
All right.
I think the bigger issue here is Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
He should have been fired back with the whole Ray Rice scandal,
and
he was able to keep himself in his seat. And then now, most recently, and then now you've got this situation where he wants to keep his authority and his dominance. And this is going to be something that the NFL the NFLPA, the Players Association, and the union, all of them are going to have to get together and figure this out on the next CBA agreement, because right now Roger Goodell has too much power, and now the NFLPA is realizing that after the most recent lockout and CBA agreement a few years ago, that they messed up a little bit in trying to get that deal done. And they're going to have to address it because Roger Goodell can come down to whoever he wants. He's a dictator right now. That being said, that was the agreement they came to, and there should be no reason that I think the court should have to get involved in this type of situation.
No, one thing that also that kind of came to mind is that Roger Goodell, and like you said, he's misusing his power, he's abusing it. He's picking and choosing how he handles certain situations. With the Ray Rice case, he came down on it full. He had known about it prior, but that's a different story. And he came down on it hard, and then we see that Tom Brady came down on it hard. But other situations like Gregory and what we talked about prior in the show, he kind of, dances around it. Oh, it's not really.
He picks and chooses, yeah.
He picks and chooses, which at the end of the day, if you're the head honcho of the whole organization, what you need to do is treat everything as much as it should be. Like, give everything a fair trial, which he's not doing. Like what Richard Sherman said best, he's the executioner, judge, and jury.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for y'all's opinions as always. Thank you for your wonderful insight. Well, stick around because when we come back, Spencer will tell us about his MVP from outer space, and Grayson, his gears are just always grinding.
Yeah.
And then we'll predict some of the NFL draft. So stick around, okay? Hey everyone, we have Grayson here alongside of us, and I'm always curious to know what's grinding his gears. So Grayson, let us know.
I have returned from long hiatus with AutoZone on my contract negotiations, but I, like Lil Wayne, call it like I see it with my glasses on. Today, we're talking about Josh Norman. He left the Panthers to go to the Redskins. Actually, well, the Panthers kind of told him to leave. He asked to sign a franchise tag. He asked for a one-year deal, but instead he took his horse, his Cheetos dreads, and most importantly, his talents to our nation's capital to play for the Washington Native Americans, leaving a gaping hole in the Carolina Panthers secondary. Well, at least they have the draft to find him a replacement, right? Well, not so much. There are only 2 corners this year that are guaranteed first-round picks, and the Panthers also desperately need a receiver. Where are you going to get the next guy to replace him? The same lab that made Cam Newton? Guys like this don't come around often. Just consider this statistic, courtesy of Pro Football Focus. Through the halfway point of last season, he had allowed just 45% of 37 passes thrown in his direction to be caught, and opposing passers throwing his way had a passer rating of just 24.1. That was good for best in the NFL. To put that in perspective, if you just threw the ball into the turf every play, that would give you a passer rating of 39.6, 15 points better than putting the ball anywhere near Josh Norman. So basically, if you threw the ball into the ground, you would be a statistically better passer than if you actually tried to complete a pass to his side of the field. But people argue that because he's not a man coverage corner, but a zone coverage corner, he's not as valuable. Basically, what you're looking at is a man coverage corner like Darrell Revis will shut down a player no matter where he is on the field, but Josh Norman doesn't stick to one player but one side of the field. But you're telling me that Ben Benwickery, Robert McClain, Brandon Boykin, Teddy Williams, and Lewis Young, all corners on the Panthers roster, are supposed to be able to replace him? So a magician, Rolando McClain's less famous twin that sells insurance, the lead singer of a boy band, a baseball player from the 20s, and a trumpet player are going to make up for his loss? To be fair, he did want about $16 million a year, and the Panthers didn't want to give him that. And we've already talked about how he wanted the franchise tag or a one-year deal. Basically, he's telling you he will take less money, less of guaranteed years, just to play for you. And you turn that down? You just made it to the Super Bowl with a nucleus of young players with a lot of promise. Why would you let go the most impactful defensive player of last season? All I'm saying is that the Panthers are insolent fools for letting this guy walk, and that they will miss out on the Super Bowl for the next 2 years because of it. The Panthers sound like a girl saying that a guy is too good for her. 8th grade. I'm Grayson, and that's what grinds my gears.
Wow. As always, thank you so much, Grayson, for letting us know what's grinding your gears. It's always interesting to hear. But moving right along, Spencer, you have your MVP. It's a special one this week. He's from outer space.
Yeah, so actually I do have a MVP of the week, and this one is literally from out of this world. UK astronaut Tim Peake ran a marathon aboard the space station. Now I don't know if there's if it's easier, because you're like gravityless, or there's how do you say that? I don't know.
No gravity.
There's no gravity,
Oh, okay.
right? No gravity, and so therefore you don't have to. It's like not as hard because you don't have as much weight, But regardless, that means that's a long time on the space station to be running, which means you were on a treadmill. I cannot do that for that length of time or space or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's my MVP though. So congrats to you, Tim Peake, on that achievement.
Yeah, that's amazing. Anytime I hear about physical activities, I already say congratulations because I'm not going to do it.
Unless she's talking about any intramural sport, in which case she's the most competitive person you'll ever meet.
Yes. But anyway, moving right along, we have a special correspondent. He's an expert on soccer. So we have him here to talk to us today. His name is Parker. Thank you, Parker, for being here. Let's move on to Parker to talk to us about some soccer.
Thanks, Bailey. Happy to be here. Now we move on to the pitch for football. First off, in terms, we've got Leicester City, right? 5,000 to 1 odds to win the Premier Cup. We had a better chance of being struck by lightning in a sandstorm here in Lubbock than you did winning the Cup for Leicester City. Tottenham's been a bit of a rub town, right? Because they got it on. They got one. They got to lose out. They got to lose one game, and Leicester City's got to win one game to win the Premier Cup. Right, this is the American equivalent of the Browns winning the Super Bowl.
Well, no, one thing that was really crazy about Leicester City is that they were just a team that came from the bottom of Premier League 2, actually, and they were projected, like you said, they weren't projected to go any further than maybe 10th or whatnot, but it's crazy to see that. And also, I don't know if you caught the Atletico Madrid and the Bayern Munich game. And I got really mad when I saw, oh goodness, what happened when Atletico Madrid stole it from Bayern Munich with that goal in the late.
Personally, what I think Chelsea's been a bunch of whingers, right? They're taking it out and they say, Tottenham doesn't want to win it, right? But you got to have Chelsea in there for it. One thing's for sure though, it's going to be an absolute ripper. Sterling, it's going to win it. You got it? Good.
Wow.
I love his vocabulary.
Love it.
That is
It's
incredible.
amazing. Spencer, did you know anything they were talking about?
Yeah, I don't ever pretend to be the most or the biggest expert on soccer.
Me either.
That is, or
It's interesting.
football.
We should try it.
To me, football,
real football.
is
Throw
you
it
can go
and-
tackle somebody as
Not
hard as you want.
handing.
You're not going to get yellow carded for it. But just like every other American, whenever the World Cup comes around, I'll be the biggest
Yeah.
soccer fan in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically that's how Americans typically are, right? They don't want to do the hard work, but when it comes down to it and it's all fancy lights and stuff, hey, pinch on, you're on there, right?
It's the American dream, baby. It's the American dream.
Wow.
All
Well,
work. All
Thank
play, no
you
work.
so much, Parker. Anyways, let's wrap this show up talking about some predictions for the NFL draft that's coming up. Everyone
football.
seems to always know what
And
they're
egg.
talking about. They can always predict the draft. So just like everyone else, let's see if y'all can predict. Who do y'all think is going to go for the top 5 in the NFL
Yeah,
draft?
so I know GP's been really excited about this segment. GP's been asking, hey, when can we talk about the draft? When can we talk about the draft? So we're doing it this week, and I'll give GP the spotlight here in a second. So I'm gonna go first so he can have as much time as he needs.
Okay.
So with the first overall pick, I have Jared Goff going to the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams. Think he'll set them up very well in the future. Jared Goff's going to be a quarterback in this league for 10 years, a franchise quarterback, that is. Then the Eagles, who trade up to number 2 spot, are going to take Carson Wentz out of North Dakota State University. And I don't know, the verdict on him is still out there. I don't know how well he's going to fare. But then with the third overall pick, I got Jalen Ramsey going to the San Diego Chargers. I wish he would fall one more spot to my Cowboys, but I have him going as a third overall pick. I just hope the Chargers know how to use him. He is a better safety than he is cornerback. Not a lot of people realize that. With the fourth overall pick for my Dallas Cowboys, America's team, this is America's pick. We're going Ezekiel Elliott out of Ohio State University. He will fill that void that DeMarco Murray left, and the Cowboys will have a franchise running back for 5 years in the future. And then to round out the top 5 for the Jaguars, Miles Jack, who is the best linebacker in the draft. A little bit of caution there because of his knee. Apparently his knee might be degrading. We're not really sure. Different doctors have different, prognoses on that. But I do believe Miles Jack will go to the Jaguars. He'd be a great fit for them there. So that's my top 5.
GP does not sound very
I'm not
enthused
pleased.
about your picks, so.
I'm not pleased.
Let's
Never
hear it.
is.
Well, I'm going to give you my little piece, as I usually do. GP keeps it real here.
As he always does.
So first up, I got the Rams. Miles Jack, actually, I have them going for defense. And I just don't think they need a quarterback. I mean, hey, I call it like it is. But that's just the way I see it for there. And for the Eagles, I see the quarterback, Jared Goff, going to the Eagles. Sam Bradford is leaving. He's being a crybaby, so I can see that working out perfectly for them. And Jared Goff has great QB mechanics. I could see him playing in the league for a very long time. And for the Chargers, this is maybe weird for some people. I say Jalen Ramsey would go to the Chargers. Why? Because I feel like you can't just let him go down. I feel like if he's available, I'd snag him, because if they don't get him, the Cowboys are going to get him. Jalen Ramsey is probably one of the best safeties since Deion Sanders, allegedly. So, and he's very athletic, super strong. I just can't see him going any lower than the 5th pick in the 1st round. And for the Cowboys, some people may say Ezekiel Elliott, but I say otherwise. I actually say Paxton Lynch. I like Paxton Lynch because people are like, oh, what is he saying? I think Paxton Lynch, he's a taller, more mobile Tony, and I just don't think we can rely on Tony and the backups to keep Cowboys in Super Bowl contention, because I'm not going to lie, we have the ability to go to the Super Bowl this year and last year. I'm going to say that too. Call me Skip Bayless, but black. But anyway, but regardless of what I'm saying, I just think the tools are there. We just need a reliable QB, and Paxton Lynch brings that to the Cowboys. And I just don't feel like the QBs we have in depth right now are going to be able to cut it. And finally, for the Jaguars, I say Ezekiel Elliott. Why? Just kind of the same reason I picked Jalen Ramsey. He's an explosive He's an explosive running back. He's shown he's very promising, and his play style, he can play for some time. So I could see him going to the Jaguars, looking really nice.
Yeah, on the Cowboys pick there, because that's the one I know most about, I don't think there's any reason to take Paxton Lynch that early.
Why?
I think Paxton Lynch will be around in the 2nd round.
You're going to lose him.
That being said, if he's on the top of your board, you absolutely take him. You don't risk it, and you take him if he's the top of your board. But with the best 2 quarterbacks in Jared Goff and Carson Wentz being off the board at that point, or in my opinion, they'll be off the board at that point. I don't see a reason to take Paxton Lynch there, thinking in the 2nd round. Even though I think you can address a quarterback need later in the draft as it is. That's how I feel about that. I think they need a running back more importantly than a quarterback.
You want to know how I feel? I appreciate y'all's predictions, but this was a prediction segment, not a debate segment. So thank you for your opinions. I love it, love it, love it. And as always, thank you for your insight, your statistics, everything.
Thank you for keeping us on track.
You're welcome.
So with that pretty much rounds out the show, doesn't it? I want to thank you for tuning in, but before we close out here, I want to thank everybody that has had an opportunity, and let's get a shot of these people back there in the production room, man. They'll never make it on camera, but they have been awesome. I mean, you people out here, y'all come up on the set real quick. Y'all come up here on the set. You can come up too. The camera's not going anywhere.
Right. It's right there.
Man, thank all of y'all for doing this. This is the last show this semester. Thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been a great show. Thank you to everybody here for helping make this show possible. Thank you, Texas Tech. We'll be back in there and ever.